it going, everybody? This is the Stimulus Check Hub here to give you your daily stimulus check and unemployment benefits updates and latest information. If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. A like and a comment are always appreciated. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends and family, because I'm sure they would also like the most up-to-date information on their stimulus checks and unemployment benefits available anywhere on YouTube, which is what I try to provide here on this channel.
Most reported U.S. Omicron cases have hit fully vaccinated, meaning that if you are fully vaccinated by the definition of fully vaccinated, which means 2 vaccines, that Omicron is still affecting all of those people, affecting everybody, regardless of vaccine. Dr. Fauci says Omicron can evade vaccine protection, but boosters help. So you can see it helps, but it doesn't completely block Omicron from getting to people. So they're now promoting a lot of booster shots because they're saying that fully vaccinated people, meaning they have the 2 shots, is not enough. The boosters may or may not help, but we'll see until the next variant comes about. Let me know down in the comments below. You get the booster. How do you feel about the Omicron? Is it just like any other day, another virus, another variant? Let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below. So inflation is painfully high, but some relief may be coming. So what this is talking about is that consumer prices rose 6.8% for the 12 months ending in November, a 39-year high. Talks about gas prices, though, saying that things are getting a little bit better. So a gallon of regular gasoline has fallen about 2.4% over the last month to a little less than $3.35 a gallon on Friday. That's the national average, and saying that that's progress, though drivers are still paying far higher prices than last year when a gallon of regular was only $2.16. So let me know down in the comments below, in terms of gas, has prices been going lower for you? I know in my area it's definitely been getting a little bit lower, but not where it was a year ago, if it ever will get to that point again. Next, let's talk about student loan forgiveness. Got a couple of articles to share with you here. So, meet an independent voter with $163,000 in student debt who left the Democratic Party after 4 decades because she felt betrayed by Joe Biden, saying, "I really felt he was going to help us with student loan problem." Yeah, he made the big promise, saying that he was going to forgive at least $10,000 in student loans, federal student loans, for every borrower. And he has completely ignored that. It's been, he's been in office for a while now. So Melissa Andetta, 53, was registered Democrat for 4 decades and voted for Joe Biden. She felt betrayed. With $163,000 in student debt, she was worried about loan payments resuming next year. Yeah, so that could be a lot of money. Knowing a lot of people who have 6 figures of student loan debt, that could be up to $1,500 per month. And when someone promises, like President Biden, that they're going to get at least $10,000 off of your student debt, that's huge. That could be a huge payment right there. So still nothing when it comes to student loan forgiveness. Student loan forgiveness would mean everything to Latinx students stuck in the debt cycle. And not just Latinx cycle, so it talks about a few more personal stories here, but I think everybody could result from at least the promise that was made that student loans could be forgiven. The earlier the better, because interest is going to accumulate again starting February 1st of 2022. When it comes to the Build Back Better plan, Lindsey Graham rips Democrats for lying about the cost of Build Back Better after CBO projections. So new CBO projection came out, and a lot of the Republicans have been very vocal about it, and most vocal probably Lindsey Graham had a huge presentation the other day, which I shared, and he is back again on Fox News talking why the Build Back Better plan is not a good idea. Here's what he has to say about it.
On Friday, the CBO estimated the true cost of President Biden's social spending bill is not $1.75 trillion as advertised, but a staggering $4.9 trillion. Joining us now, South Carolina's Lindsey Graham, the top Republican on the Senate Budget Committee, who says the bill could be paving a path to socialism. Senator, welcome back.
Thank you.
You commissioned the Congressional Budget Office to project how much Build Back Better will cost over the 10 years, assuming that the programs that are in it, the spending programs that are in it, go on for 10 years and are not, as in the case with child care just for 1 year, the CBO found instead of adding $200 billion to the deficit, it will add $3 trillion to the deficit. But Senator, the White House says that's fake, because if the programs are extended, they'll find ways to pay for them.
Well, give me a plan to pay for them then. President Biden said the bill was fully paid for. Vice President Harris said it was paid for. Schumer, Pelosi, Secretary of Treasury Yellen. The CBO says it's not paid for. It's $3 trillion of deficit spending. It's not $1.75 trillion over 10 years. It's $4.9 trillion. What does this mean? The House should revote. The vote in the House was based on a fraud. This bill doesn't cost $1.75 trillion. It cost almost $5 trillion. It doesn't add $300 billion to the deficit. It adds $3 trillion. There is not a plan to pay for it. If there is, I missed it. So give it to me. Give it to the American people. Before we vote in the Senate, show me how you pay for this bill. And you know why I wrote a letter to CBO? Because Joe Manchin came to me and he said, I think this bill is full of gimmicks, that these programs won't go away, Lindsay. And if you score them for 10 years, I think the bill will double. Well, it didn't double. It was almost 2.5 times. So I hope that this will be a showstopper for Build Back Better.
But in 2017, President Trump and all Senate Republicans voted for the tax cuts then that added $2 trillion to the economy. And in fact, you talk about budget gimmicks. It used the same budget gimmick there, for instance, saying that individual tax cuts were going to end in 2025. Here's White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki on that.
The plan they proposed and passed into law, the 2017 tax cuts, were $2 trillion, which were not paid for in any way, shape, or form. That didn't seem to upset them at all.
Senator, does she have a point?
Oh, no, not really. I like giving money back to the taxpayer. I don't like spending more money than we did in World War II, and that's what we're doing right now. This bill, Build Back Better, is $5 trillion. It's not 1.75. It will add $3 trillion to the deficit. When they tell you the bill is paid for, they're lying. When Nancy Pelosi brought it to the House with a CBO score of 1.75, it was a lie. When she said it was $300 billion to the deficit, it's a lie.
Respectfully, what Jen Psaki is saying, and a lot of Democrats are saying, is that when President Trump and you
what's that got to do with anything?
Let me just finish. Past the 2017 Trump tax cut.
Yeah.
That was a lie. It wasn't paid for.
No, what happens is you can't go beyond 10 years in terms of the budget window. We voted knowing that cutting taxes we believe would be good. I never said that cutting taxes, I voted for cutting taxes. I'm against expanding the government. They're telling you it doesn't cost anything, Chris. Well, the CBO says it costs $3 trillion. Joe Manchin, if you're watching, you were right, Joe. You got this right. It is a lie. It's 4.9 trillion, not 1.75. Okay. It's 3 trillion. So Joe Manchin was right. Now, what the hell are you going to do about it? If you say it's going to be paid for, give me the offsets. Do you raise taxes by 3 trillion? Do you cut the government by 3 trillion?
Let's talk about what's in the Build Back Better plan. Families in your state of South Carolina with 2 children, on average, now spend 21% of their income on child care. The Build Back Better plan would cut that to 7% of their income on child care. Pre-pandemic, 14% of children in South Carolina lived in poverty. By blocking Build Back Better, you'd end a child tax credit of up to $3,600 per year per child. Senator, just as a practical matter, won't that hurt a lot of families in your state?
As a practical matter, my families in my state are getting crushed by inflation. 6.8% inflation number came out Friday. It's the highest inflation rate in 40 years. So it makes your paycheck go less. It's crushing people who are working. So if you pass Build Back Better, it declares war on fossil fuels. It gives tax credits to buy electric vehicles made by union plants, which hurts BMW and Volvo. This bill, Build Back Better, will be gasoline on the inflation problem. It destroys the ability to extract fossil fuels. Gas prices went up 58%. The last thing I'm going to do is add more burdens to working families in South Carolina. And here's my message to the Democratic Party. Quit lying about this bill. They should revote it in the House. And Senator Manchin, you were right. I hope you'll stand up and stop this madness. We need to stop Build Back Better before it destroys this country.
All right, let me talk to you about another issue. This week, 14 Senate Republicans voted with the Senate Democrats to set up a process, not to vote to increase the debt limit, but to set up a process so the Democrats by themselves could vote to increase the debt limit. You were not happy about those 14 Republicans, the way this played out, and you blasted Senate Leader McConnell for setting the GOP up to, quote, get shot in the back. And then you said this, quote, it's pretty obvious to me that this will not be received well by the Republican faithful, including Donald Trump. Senator, are you that worried about former President Trump and his base?
What I'm worried about is that for 4 months, the Republican Senate said we would not lift a finger to help the Democrats raise the debt ceiling. We would make them use reconciliation, which is they can do by themselves, to raise the debt ceiling because that's the process they use to spend the money. At the end, we did not make them use reconciliation. We changed the rules of the Senate in a House bill. I don't like that a lot. I like Senator McConnell, but here's what happened. 70% of Senate Republicans voted against this, and every House Republican but one voted against it. What we did is promise one thing and deliver another. It was a mistake.
But sir, I mean, in the end, the Democrats are going to end up raising the debt limit by themselves. All we're talking about here is setting up a process so they can do it. Is that really such a big deal?
It apparently was to every House Republican. It was apparently a big deal to 70% of the Senate Republicans. It's a big deal to me. The way we did this is we literally changed the rules of the Senate in a House bill. We did not use the reconciliation process. But here's my point. If we're going to be successful in 2022, we're going to have to work together as a team. And here's what I would say every Republican. If you want to be a Senate Republican leader in the House, a Republican leader in the House or the Senate, and you don't have a working relationship with Donald Trump, you cannot be effective. So I hope we'll get on the same page here.
What are your thoughts on what Lindsey Graham has to say? What the Democrats are saying in terms of rebuttal is that Lindsey Graham is sort of manipulating the numbers there, and that what he's saying is not true. So it's going back and forth, which is very frustrating. So Lindsey Graham pointing out a lot of different numbers from the CBO, Congressional Budget Office, which are supposed to be neutral numbers. They're not partisan, not Republican or Democrat, but yet Democrats still say that that isn't true. So it's got to be some middle ground here. We have two sides saying two completely different things. When it comes to, Graham says that Democrats must quit lying about Build Back Better, calls for House to re-vote. Well, we're still waiting for the Senate to vote on it, and they may or may not vote on it. I don't know. We still don't know. When it comes to voting time and timeline, so if we look here, so today's December 13th, we can see that Congress is officially working overtime. They're not getting paid, but they are supposed to end their day December 10th, but now they said that they're going to work this week and that they're going to get it done until Christmas. So that could be another 2 weeks potentially until they get things done. Another big roadblock here is Biden's sights on winning conservative Democrat Manchin's vote for a Build Back Better bill, And I don't know, he said that he's going to meet with them. The other day he said Biden says he will speak with Manchin next week. I think he's spoken with them dozens of times since all this drama has been started and haven't really seen any progress there. So I think President Biden could speak with Manchin all he wants, but doesn't seem to be doing anything. There needs to be another strategy there if they're trying to influence Joe Manchin. When it comes to stimulus check news, surprise December stimulus check warning as you must take urgent action to ensure you get a payment of up to $1,100. This is referring to the California stimulus checks. So says that the state of California is sending 803,000 Golden State stimulus payments worth up to $1,100 on December 17th, and checks starting to be distributed this week. So it's going by zip code here. So people in the zip code 376-584 should receive their checks between November 15th and December 3rd. and I guess there's a few more going out now, saying that if you did not receive it, you have to check your eligibility, check your adjusted gross income. Other things you could do is check to make sure your address is correct and your bank account is correct with California. So those are the actions you would have to take to get the potential $1,100, $600 for individuals, an extra $500 if you have a family. Then we have this article right here, $400 refunds are coming to millions of drivers, how to get a car insurance stimulus check. So this is state specific. This is, while you might see another stimulus check from Washington, drivers across the country are still getting cash in the mail from their insurers. So, a wave of $400 refunds are coming to insurers because the insurance companies have been hoarding a lot of the money that they shouldn't have been. So, this is specifically talking about Michigan, drivers in Michigan who are getting $400 back for every vehicle they own. So, this is not for a specific insurance company, but if you live in Michigan and you own a car, then you're going to get $400 for that car. If you own 2 cars, then you get $800. So it's for every car that you own. We have another one right here. Child tax credit update. Lawmakers have just days to extend payments as struggling families anxiously wait. So what's going on here is the child tax credit, if it ends, or if the Build Back Better plan is not passed in 2021, so before Christmas or before December 31st, then the child tax credit will not start again for next year, and there will be a lapse. Even if they do try to start it up again in January, if they pass it in early January, there could be a delay for that first January 5th.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Like and a comment are always appreciated. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends and family, because I'm sure they would also like the most up-to-date information on their stimulus checks and unemployment benefits available anywhere on YouTube. Have a good one.